Hello everyone, and welcome to Artful Holidays, 12 days of festive fun. Today I have another download for you, so you can find that in the description. And this download is my holiday sentiments collection. And so what we've got in this download, just kind of welcoming you to this. And then I have, I think about 70 in here of holiday sentiments, because I don't know about you, but sometimes when you're writing cards or gift tags, or you're sending a holiday card to family, you know, sometimes I'm just, you know, it says Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or Happy Hanukkah or whatever it says in it, and then you're just like, love, Denise, and that's it. And we could be so much more creative, and sometimes it's, you know, it's hard to think of what is that creativity going to be. So I have a list of lovely sentiments that you could use in all kinds of ways for your holiday inspiration. So some of these are art-centered, because obviously we want to give stuff to our favorite artist. And the rest of them are just kind of for everybody. So for instance, wishing you a season filled with cozy moments and warm hearts. Wishing you artful days and starry nights this holiday season. See how beautiful that is? And then you can be like, love Denise, love the family, love Denise and Mia and Suki, whoever you want to put on there. Mia and Suki are my dogs. Hoping your holiday is sprinkled with cheer and wrapped in warmth. So I have tons of these in here. I went on a spree of ideas and writing down and thinking for months on pulling together a lovely collection. A sprinkle of holiday magic just for you. Wishing you joy that lingers long after the season ends. Cherish the moments, savor the joy, and may your holidays be filled with warmth. May every little moment of the season bring you warmth and cheer. Handcrafted wishes for a cozy holiday season. That'd be perfect if you gave them something that you sewed or created. A simple gift, a season full of heart. For you, a little moment of magic and a dash of delight. See how delightful these are? I know you're going to want to print this and save this and put this where you can find it. Wishing you a season filled with colors, creativity, and cozy studio days. So obviously that's for our art friends. May your holidays be filled with a spark of creativity and a warmth of community. May every day of the season bring you a new splash of inspiration. For an artist like you, may each holiday moment feel like a blank canvas full of possibility. And then about me, and then back to the front. So I want you to definitely grab this download. A lot of thought and care and love went into creating this collection of greetings that you could then use on all of your holiday items and things that you give to people for years to come. So that'll be in the description for you. And I thought today, to go along with that, we could look at a few holiday gift tag options that I think are going to be really cool. So these I did not make. I got these at the antique market. There's a booth with some lovely creative lady that sells ribbons and bits, and I went looking for the ribbons. Let's see if I can pull this out. I've got my button box in the way, but it's the kind of booth that sells like vintage ribbons and things, and I thought, ooh, I need some of these to add to my stash. So not only do I get from the 1924 Linens and More Etsy shop that I love so much, I also grab some of these when I see them at the antique market. And these were like $3.50, so they weren't expensive, and they are lovely bits of vintage ribbon. And got several of those from her booth this time, so that was fun. Oh, I must have liked that one a lot, or it's two different sizes. But anyway, these were at her booth. I purchased them. I'm going to send these out to my aunts and a couple of friends this year as an extra special holiday card. And I just thought I would share this idea with you because they're gorgeous. So these are the brown craft paper envelopes and cards, which you can get at Hobby Lobby. I got some of those at the Hobby Lobby. So even though this says $9.99, these were on sale, and I think I paid $6 for 50 cards. And I thought, oh my goodness, I don't need 50 cards. I got enough cards to last me till I die now. But for $6, I thought, that's worth it. And a little one, I think I paid like $2 for this. It was on sale. So anyway, these have a lovely piece of fabric that is either glued or sewn. I think this lady sews a lot, so this one's sewn on, but you could very easily glue these on. And then there is a piece of felt with the snowman cut out and just stitched around, but you could cut the felt and then paint around if you wanted to paint dots around that. And then some buttons with a little piece of lace underneath it, and then she did sew the face, but you wouldn't really have to do that. And then there's just some little note paper in there if you want to write a note. And I just thought that was so lovely. Who wouldn't love to get like a one-of-a-kind card like that? And because the vintage buttons and lace pieces are something that I love to have and collect with my little fabric stash of stuff, I thought those were gorgeous. And then there's a couple different varieties that she did. How fun are those? So I just thought that you might like to have a little look at the creativity that this lady that had this booth did. And I apologize, I don't know the lady's name because it's just a booth in the middle of one of those multi-booth kind of places. And then she also had trees, and I don't know where she got this Merry Christmas ribbon. I'm sure you could probably buy that somewhere. And these weren't cheap. This one is $14, but it's the only time I'll probably ever buy these and send these to my aunts. And my aunts are very creative also, so I thought they would truly appreciate these. So this one's a little more decorative. I think the snowmen were $10 if you're wondering price-wise, if you wanted to make them and sell them. Something like that. So this is super creative. She has, it looks like either drawn or that, I think that's drawn. Oh, it's a piece of scrap paper. I can see it right here. So the stripe is a paper and then kind of sewn in there for some extra creativity, but you wouldn't have to do that. You could glue that. And then on the front, you've got that striped paper, and then you've got another paper right on top of that with snowflakes. And then you've got a lovely piece of green fabric under that, making the tree. And it's just a triangle with some of that rickrack and buttons to finish it off. How creative is that for a Christmas card that you could make and be extra special and just slip that? I will tell you, I've mailed a card similar to this to a friend of mine that wasn't Christmas oriented, but it was from this lady's same booth, and it was with fabrics and some flowers off a hat. And these take 2 stamps. It was $1.01, I think, if you paid for the postage, but if I put a stamp on it, they take 2 stamps. So just know when you've added all this extra weight and these lovely decorations onto something like this, it does take an extra stamp to send it. And they were so gorgeous that I picked up several, and I just thought maybe you'd enjoy seeing that creativity and an idea for your cards. And I like this one with the Merry Christmas paper. So you can get some scrapbook paper in a holiday theme and do something easy and creative, because that's pretty easy. You could even just glue all that. It's not like you have to have sewing skills. So these were just an amazing idea that I wanted to share with you because they were so amazing. I'm like, I need to buy that. Now I was kind of thinking that we could kind of come up with some ideas of our own. So this is the 1924 Linens and More, that small subscription that I showed off in the November art haul. She does, the small subscription has all the lace bits and stuff, and you can get these little lace collections too in her Etsy shop. But what I like about something like this is that I'm not afraid to use it, because if it's something that my grandmother made, because my grandmother made lace like this with some tatting, I don't want to use it and waste it and then not like what I did with it, and then that was my grandmother's, which is sentimental. Whereas if I buy ones like this, I'm not attached to it and I'm not afraid to use it. So I do like that there is a resource like this. And these are just some brown tags. I don't even know where they came from. You could probably get these at the office supply store. But what if, because this, when I pulled these out, I'm like, haha, got an idea for this already. What if we had a pretty paper lining this, just like those were lined, and then some buttons. These are some buttons out of my grandmother's button box, which I have sitting right here, because weirdly enough, that's what I got, was the button box. And I've added some of my own buttons in here, but underneath here is tons of vintage buttons, and there's like one of each. So who knows what all of these things came off of, but I've also added some of my own buttons in here because I use those on my lovely handmade journals. But yeah, I mean, if you've got a collection of buttons, this might be the time to dig through and use these as some holiday decoration on a tag or a card. And I'm thinking on this piece, wouldn't that be cool with triangle pieces of lace or ones that you cut yourself? We could glue that on there with our little button decorations. And I showed you this in the last art haul too, my special button box. I'll put these over here in the big button box. These have, these came from Hobby Lobby, these here, and they were running a sale. And all the expensive buttons over $3.50 were on sale for $1.99. Look at that button. Doesn't that look like an earring that your grandmother would have had? So what if we did all of that and a star at the top with the button? How amazing is that? And then I was even thinking, how cool would it be if we had some lovely lace or pretty twine, kind of like this right here, just some lace or some twine. I've got some twine. Where did I do? I'm hiding stuff from myself because I have so many ideas. Tied in to kind of come off of there. I like this right here. This is another idea also. Just some stripes of lace with a button. Pretty lace as the tag topper. That's a smaller tag there. But I just think that these are so lovely and creative that we could definitely come up with some very pretty Christmassy designs with a tag. So I wanted to throw that idea out there as I was thinking about it. And then another idea that I had, I'm going to save these. I'm not going to do this one today. But another idea that I had is that we could do a Christmas tree card out of ribbon. So I'm going to open these and get my thoughts together, and I'll be right back. Alright, I think I've got everything I want. So I took a piece, this is some muslin fabric I got at the fabric store, and I just cut a small piece off of this fabric and frayed the edge. So that's what I've got right here. And I was just kind of gathering my thoughts. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a little wonky. I don't mind wonky. Wonky's good. I'm kind of thinking, what if we did a tree out of rickrack and stuff? And so I'm almost feeling like I'm going to glue this down. I'm just going to use a glue stick, and we will hope that sticks pretty good. I'm just going to make it nice and thick. Yes, paste would be fine. I just want it to be enough that it's definitely going to grab. That's just my little oohoo stick. And kind of thinking we're going to glue this down. Hopefully. There we go. And that's going to be the top. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not looking for perfect. I don't have to have exact. I might get this little bit of glue off the top here, so that I'm not fighting with something sticky, and it dries clear, so I'm not worried about it after that. And then you could do this with fabric, you could do this with paper, you could do this with, I want that to stay down, you could do it with rickrack, which is what I'm going to do. And so I'm kind of thinking I want to make a tree and a trunk and a base, kind of. So I like this little bit of fabric, this bead landing cording. Who knows where I got this? Years, and I've had this for a while. So go to the fabric store, just take a look at some of the options and things that are available, but I'm kind of wanting to create a baseline, and I've got some tacky glue here. I'm going to try, I got a little collection of baby tacky glues at Hobby Lobby, and it had Fast Grab, Original, Quick Dry, and another Original, and a little clear gel. And I thought, and I already have the tacky glue, the regular acid free, because I use the tacky glue in the bookmaking. Oh, there we go. And I thought, look how cute these are, and we could give them a try out for something like this. So I'm just going to go for it. I want a line across here, so I liked that this was little at my table when I'm working, so it's like not a big piece, not a big gigantic thing of glue. Look at that, perfect. And then I kind of want a trunk, but do I want the trunk on top of the tree or under the tree, or maybe no trunk? Maybe that is the trunk, maybe the trunk at the bottom. Oh yeah, let's do the trunk at the bottom. Let's just cut a piece. I don't know where the bottom's going to be yet, but I do want a piece so we can have like our little tree trunk maybe. And I was kind of thinking, this was my idea, go with me here, but layers of paper or ribbon. And I'm doing ribbon because I got all these pretty ribbons. You could do paper, but I'm thinking triangle tree here. And with the different papers and ribbons and things, because here's a pretty one that is in my small subscription there from the Linens and Things, 1924 Linens and More. Here we go. So perfect excuse to get like a little ribbon pack. I love her shop. It's a little Etsy shop that I discovered, and I am just obsessed with getting all the little bits and being able to play because, oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh yes, yes. I used to love playing in my grandmother's sewing room, and it just makes me feel like I'm back there playing in her sewing room with all the little goodies. Alright, so I like these so much. I'm ready to glue them down, but I'm kind of going to wait because I need to get a few more layers. And these could be all different, or we could have like another little layer up here and kind of go with the same as we're going up and make our tree coordinated. Or we could swap them out and use all different ones. And I kind of think I'm going to need to trim these a little bit. I need to get to a point pretty quick. This would be a really cool piece of art if you were making some fabric art. If you wanted to do a really long piece, like nice and tall, you could do like a really long tree. That would be super cool. Okay, I'm feeling like we're getting there. I almost feel like maybe we'll cut a tiny bit off of this. This is why I like having lace and fabric and bits that I'm not attached to, like my grandmother's stuff. I'm kind of attached to it. I really want it to be amazing. This stuff, I find it, if I'm not attached to it, I don't mind cutting it up. All right, let's do this little bit right here. Look at that tree! Wah! You could even do like little tiny packages down there. We could get into the button box and we could put some button ornaments. I like these. These are like shell. They're so amazing. A few little button ornaments in here. Oh, look how cool that is. All right, let's glue it down. Billing that right there. All right, let's go ahead and tree trunk it. I think I'll cut a little tiny bit off the tree trunk. And then we'll get our little trunk here. I think when we're all done, I'm going to have to like press this down under like a book to make sure. And I do have some of this tacky glue in fabric glue, but I figured, I'm sure this will be fine. But I do think I'm going to need to hold it under a book because this stuff kind of wants to move around a little bit. All right, a little bit of glue there. Let's go ahead and get the wide. Whoa, man, I love it already. And then maybe I'll put this glue on here. We can squish it around a little bit. This little piece. I think it went that way, didn't it? That's all right. We'll do it that way right there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All right, let's stick the rickrack on here. If you've got any that are flowing out, take a little baby wipe and you can wipe that glue off. Which is what I'm gonna do, and it dries clear. You won't even see that. Okay. Now there's something sticky on my hand. I'm doing the rickrack like a little garland, but you could do, you know, I'm doing it kind of straight, but you could do it zigzagged. How cool would that look? Let's do the little top here. Excellent. Let's put some little dot. Let's put some of these on here as our ornaments. Could put one, or could put one like right here. I'm kind of feeling like right there. Oh yeah, I like that. And you know, we could get into the lovely button box, and I could sew one of these buttons on here. Oh, look at that one! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm feeling like what I need to do is I would sew that one on. I could make a hole through there. Let's do that. Where is my clay tool that's like an ice pick? This thing is like a weapon. But I'm going to go ahead and puncture a hole through here. Oh, you know what I got? This is what I got. Look at this. I've got these little things that came off the buttons. Okay, don't throw these away. And I almost did throw these away, but look at these. They're like little button holders to hold them on the little button paper, but I saved some. And if you don't want to sew, let's just push that right through. If you don't want to sew, actually it would kind of stay right there. You could just glue that in actually, now that I've done that, because that's pretty sturdy. But if you want it to be super sturdy, you could go ahead and lock the button in with a button lock, and you didn't even have to sew it. How cool is that? Oh my goodness. And of course I've knocked off my buttons. Shouldn't have done that. The glue's not dry yet. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Look at that fun card. And then if you want to get super creative, you could put a piece of the extra paper inside, like our inspiration cards had. Let's just look at another one of those and admire it again. Because they're so gorgeous. Anyway, just another little look at an inspiration card here. You know, a little paper in here, and then one of the lovely season's greetings that I gave you, and you would have a really beautiful collection of cards to send out to your Christmas list. Now, if you put too much stuff on it, you might need to go to the post office and get the right number of right amount of postage on there. These were two stamps, so I feel like that's the same weight, so 2 stamps at least. But look how cool that is as a card to send out with our lovely topper. I mean, that's amazing. Okay. Hope you had fun hanging out with me today, getting a little holiday card and tag inspiration, playing with some of your lovely bits and pieces. You can do this with paper, glue, fabric, whatever it is that you have on hand to be super creative in your cards. You can get cheap cards at the craft store to do that with, and then some beautiful sentiments that you could write in there with the download that I gave you, which will be in the description. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys tomorrow.